This chapter will be about what is located where in an online device. The online device is divided in 4 different sections, as you can see here. Systems, software, hardware, and networks. First up, in the systems, there is system parameters. It contains the directories, the system time base, and the PLC settings. Most importantly, you have the monitor view. So once you double click on a tab on the left, it opens in the editor, and on the bottom side in the monitor view, you get additional information. So as you can see, there's system software, system drivers, libraries, date and time, and license key if you have them added. Then in the I/O system, you can find all the current cards and their I/O in the monitoring view. The system monitoring is to monitor certain tasks in the system. The monitor view has tasks, CPU usage, and maximum load, which can be turned on by the button on the top right of your screen. Next up, the boot parameters. They show all the needed information about the boot procedure, what device it is booted from, and what boot files is used, etc. In the boot settings, you can change the boot order. For example, if you want your PLC to first boot from a USB, you put the USB on top, and then it boots from the other ones if the USB is not available. It's also possible to change the operating system of an MPLC if your PLC is an older version and is running on VxWorks 5. In the memory, you can see the partitioning of the system. It shows how much free space is also available. You can decide yourself how big those partitions are, and you can add extra partitions if needed. On the bottom side, in the monitor view, you can see the memory. And in the flash media information, you can find the serial number of the CF card. This could be useful in the cases that you need this number to get the license keys that are bound to this serial number. In the Diagnostics tab, the user can change the debug levels in the system. This can be done under System Debug Level. This is important, and here you can get more information into your logbook. The logbook itself can be found in the monitor view on the bottom. You have your current logbook and your old logbook. The current logbook is from your current boot. You can scroll through it and see what has happened in your system, and you can even see which errors has occurred and even which warnings by pressing on the warnings itself. Next up, in the Communication tab, we can take a look at the IP address of the Ethernet ports. So we have Ethernet port 1 and 2 and maybe a third depending on your controller. We can change the network names, add gateways, set up serial ports and the interfaces, etc. Last but not least is the Security tab. There are 5 different security levels, ranging from no security to SSL only, which you see here. 0 is no login required, and the 4th one requires certificates and stuff to get into the PLC. Next up is the software part. The software part has 3 different tabs, which are System, Services, and Application. First, we're going to take a look in System. These are applications that are always running on your PLC and give you information about the system itself. For example, if we open the RES module, go in Monitor View and go to Variables, you can see all kinds of information about the CPU. For example, its temperature. There's way more information to be found, but I'll let you guys look through it yourselves. Next up, we have the Services tab, which is normally empty. This tab can be used to add our Bluecom protocol, the Modbus service can be run here, or the OpenCUA service can be run here. Then last but not least is the Applications part. This is where the applications are going to run that you create yourself. So once you've written a program and you run it on your PLC, it's going to be shown in the Applications tab. Next up is the Hardware tab. This shows all the current connected hardware modules to the PLC. Clicking on the PLC itself and opening in the monitor view will show you information about the CPU itself, and most importantly, the serial number of the CPU can be found here, which is the same if you need a license key which is bound to the CPU. In the next chapter, we'll go take a look at how we're going to add additional hardware devices, but for now we're going to go to the last tab, which is networks. This tab is empty by default. This is where you can add your field buses. Think about Profinet, Profibus, CAN bus, or EtherCAT, even Modbus networks. You can add them by clicking right-click, New, and then you can select which field bus you want to configure. Hopefully this clears up the structure of an online device, and in the next chapter we're going to show you how we're going to add a hardware module to the current setup.